What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and today I am giving you guys a Duel Links deck profile. This is my girls, the queens of the sky, the goddesses of air, the sky goddesses, as the deck name suggests. This is the Harpie Duel Links deck profile that I'm sure many of you have been waiting months for. And I did say I was going to try to incorporate more Duel Links into the channel, which I started because I'm doing a lot of Duel Links on my YouTube. Not my YouTube. Well, my YouTube channel is going to have a lot of videos from my Twitch channel on here. And I'm very, very excited because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting patiently for me to drop a video for this. So yeah, I am more than ecstatic to drop a Duel Links set profile. So why don't I go ahead, why don't I go into it? So first off is 3 copies of Harpie Channeler, 3 copies of Harpie Perfumer, 2 copies of Harpie Lady, one Sisters, one Harpist, and one Oracle. For the spell cards, I'm using 2 copies of Hysteric Sign, 2 copies of Lonely Aegis, one Hunting Ground, and one Feather Rest. For the trap cards, 1 copy of double judge. Yeah, head judging, not double judging, head judging. You get that name mixed up. 1 copy of Karmika, and then 1 copy of Treacherous Trap Hole. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Cyber/Harpie Lady, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Gallagher Hellboy, 1 Dagger Emerald, 1 number 70 Malevolent Sin, and 1 number 18 um Heraldry Patriarch, because that name always skips my mind. And the artwork of this monster is very misleading in some cases as well. So, alright, let's talk about this deck overall. So, basically, it's Harpies for Duel Links. It's once Sign of the Harpies came out, a lot of builds for Harpies for Duel Links came out, and this is honestly my favorite build of it. Also to note, not everybody has access to gems. Everybody has to do a whole lot to get gems, and of course, just like any mobile game, there is always the gotcha factor, which is you're not always going to pull the same thing, and you have to go back into the box to pull multiple times, which that took a good period of time. Also, the fact I have to pull from different boxes, so there aren't, double head judgings, there aren't double separate shot pulls. I don't have a lot of karma cuts, but that's just how things is. Surprisingly, it just works out well. And a lot of the builds and stuff, it just whatever you have in your box, you take advantage of and you run with it. That's pretty much it when it comes to a lot of gotchas. Now, in terms of the deck and its build, I can easily go through it quickly. Just you have your standard monsters, you have your perfumer, and you have your channeler. Those are your 2 cards for your combo pieces. Channeler is summoning harpies from the deck. Perfumer is searching for spells and traps. So this is list Harpie Lady Sisters in its text and adding them to your hand. Harpie Lady 1 is your target for Ellie and Egotis, as well as majority of the monsters. The majority monsters that you're going to be summoning for giving your other harpies or your other wind monsters additional attack power. Harpie Oracle is here to retrieve your spells and traps from the grave. That specifically lists Harpie Lady Sisters in its text. So that way you lose out on your hunting ground, you can always get it back. Although my skill, which I completely forgot to mention, is Harpie's hunting ground, that already puts one in the field, and then you'll have the one in your deck. You could vote for a second one, but most decks are just using the skill with the hunting ground in deck for the just in case. And it's a good way to get over things in case your opponent doesn't set back row. You have the 1 copy of Harpie Harpist. She's basically here for the discard target, if anything. Especially because you can dump her off your channeler, you can summon her, your other monsters, and then she can search for another channeler. She can search for a perfumer. She can search for a good majority of what you're running if you decide to run Harpie Harpist. Now, the odd man out, of course, or I should say the odd women out, is Harpie Lady Sisters. And no, not a lot of builds are running Sisters. And it's perfectly fine, because you don't want to break into Sisters. However, I love running Harpie Lady Sisters because it gives a double search for Perfumer without me having to go into the extra deck. It gives me a good special summon off of Oracle so that she can trigger her own abilities. And it's still another access of a beat stick, and I forget my lock screen does this. It's still another monster to have in addition to your other Harpy monsters in the main deck, in case you don't want to waste a lot of your spells and traps, and you just want to speed up some processes. That's pretty much why she's here. Then going on to the spells. Two copies of Hysteric Sign. Three is kind of overkill in some cases when it comes to a lot of multiple cards. Primarily because of the way Duel Links is. Because Duel Links is a maximum of 30, and I kind of want to still stick to that. I mean, a maximum of 30, but a minimum of 20, and I want to kind of still stick to that. So, that's why you only see two Sign and two Ego. Considering the fact that I have ways to search for it, I have ways to retrieve it, so I'll be here fine. Inigo itself brings out the Harpy Lady or the Harpy Lady Sisters, whichever preference of what you need on the field is according to. Then, the One Feather S, this is your pot of avarice in case of, not having the necessary sign. In case of not running into um, Degasto Emerald. And you get a ton of these. I've had many of these running through the game because this is a rare. Then the one copy of Harpie's Hunting Ground to help you blow up back row. You'll have one on the field thanks to your skill, but if not, of course, you're opt to run the double or the one of in your main deck just in case. But most people who do play Harpies do associate it with Mai. It's a rare occasion if you use it with some other duelists, that's probably because of the ability ties that bind, which gives additional attack power based on the number of other monsters you have on the field. I think or it gives the attack power to monsters on the field because you have other monsters on the field. So what is it there? Going on to the trial cards, we got the Karma Cut for removal. We have head judging. Now, head judging and Treacherous Trap Hole are both at 2. And in order for me to run both of them, I have to run one of each because of how Duel Links rulings are. If you don't know what Duel Links rulings are, is that if a card is limited, I can't run semi-limited cards and stuff like that. Their Forbidden Limited list is completely different in how it works than it is ours. And I learned that the hard way. Because, like, wait a minute, I can't play all these cards. It was like, yeah, because they're limited. And I was like, yeah, so I can run 2, 1, 1. And they're like, no, you can only run 1, 1, or the 2 of the one that has the semi-limited. And it's just like, okay, I guess we're just doing that. So the head judging is here because it's great to counter monster effects, and then when you do negate it, you can snatch the monster that you took. It's also a great way to just keep your opponent at bay for a lot of things because it's helpful against blue eyes, and very helpful against blue eyes. And then the treacherous trap hole is just great for decks that want to spray on multiple monsters. It's a great way to keep a lot of things together. And the only other normal trap that I'm running is Karma Cut, so I at least have the continuous trap on the board. I have the treacherous trap hole in waiting to deal with that as well, deal with monsters as well. So yeah, a lot of evasives. All right, we move on to the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty simple. We got 2 copies of the big girl, Cyber/Harpy Lady. She is your ace. Um, in pretty much the Harpy boss monster right now. The ability to bounce back any cards or any spell, any monster your opponent controls, any Harpy monster you control when a spell trap, or a monster effect is activated. Best to bet to use her when you're combining it with your own cards because for some weird reason it doesn't trigger when your opponent activates a monster effect. I don't know what the stipulations or the conditions are, but it's a very weird one because in regular Yu-Gi-Oh, like when I'm playing on like EDO Pro and stuff, it works, but I guess it doesn't here. But yeah, I'm running 2 copies because a third one is not needed or really necessary at that point. Then the rest of the extra deck is pretty much just cards in case of needed because you can easily access rank 4 with Harpies. And that's pretty much what this shows because Dweller is there for the graveyard. You have Gaga Cowboy to help you for the 800. Well, no, the 400 burn because I forgot. Burn damage is always limited in Duel Links, and that was because of the issues that they were having a lot with going on. Dagasa Emerald, just another pot of avarice in case you can't get to your because this will target more than just the Harpies. It'll target any 3 monsters. So yeah, you can definitely take advantage of Emerald if needed. Malevolent Sin is a monster removal. And a great monster removal because it'll increase its own level and its own rank and attack. 300 more attack and rank increased by 3. You're mainly using it for its leveling, for its attack increase, so it can help you beat over stuff once it uses all of its material. And then Heraldry Patriarch. This is great for mirror match. This is great for decks that run multiple monsters that share the same name, like Blue Eyes. It's basically here to help you get rid of those monsters, and then your opponent can't do anything with monsters that hold the same name. So, yeah, that is pretty much it in terms of the deck itself. I am using the ability Harpies Hunting Ground, which comes with my Valentine, and only comes with my Valentine. So what it does is basically it plays Harpies Hunting Ground already on the field when the duel starts. So that's one less card you have to run in your deck. You can use Harpie's Last Will, which if you have 4 more Harpie cards in grave, you can add a harp. You can add, I think it's Harpie's Feather Duster from your deck to your hand. There's also there's Flight of the Harpie, which I believe allows you to search. Um, no, I'm probably getting this wrong. Let me see if this is right. Yeah, Harpie's Last Will. If you each time for 1,000 life points are decreased during your draw phase, you can add a random Harpie card to your hand, except for protecting your normal draw phase. And then Harpie's Last Will is if you have 4 more Harpie cards in your graveyard, you're able to add Harpie's Feather Duster from your deck randomly to your hand. So yeah, it depends on how you want to build it up to take advantage of cards. Now, I do have a couple of replays that I definitely want to show off to you guys because I'm sure you guys would like to see some of them if you have not already seen the live streams and stuff. So yeah, I'm quickly just gonna go through these. A lot of these honestly are really amazing duels with a lot of people online because that's basically what I've been doing because I've been playing a lot of the Casey Cup. So yeah, if you do see well, you can't really interact with me, that kind of does suck. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna start off a couple of duels here, give you guys a bit of commentary. So this is a duel against Yusei and the Shooting Star Dragon, as well as Shooting Star Road. So what that does is it puts the monster Junk Converter in the graveyard, and then I believe if you have Stardust Dragon, it allows you to special summon Formulus Ground to the field, so that way you can go into Shooting Star Dragon. This delivery here was just basically going against that. My opponent did go all the way into Shooting Star Dragon, so I didn't. So yeah, that's one nasty combination you do have to deal with, as you can see here. So yeah, they go into Stardust, they activate Shooting Star Road, they drop the formula. Here comes the Shooting Star and a face down card. So what I did so I baited it out with Harpie's Hunting Ground. So I summoned the Chandler. I played Sign to go get Ego. I activated Ego to summon Harpie Lady's sisters. Then from here, I dumped the Harpist to play Perfumer. Perfumer does her search to add the Hunting Ground in the Feather Rest. I summon Harpie Harpist. I play the Hunting Ground to bounce back the Shooting Star Dragon, who's used up his ability. I summon the Oracle. I pop the back row, and then I just go in for game at this point which I have already set up. So yeah, and then I just start swinging with my monsters. I think the first attack was only negated, I believe, because of something. It's weird with card effects, but yeah, that's the first one. I don't know what all of them are, but I know a lot of these were all me playing Harpie. So the next video, of course, is this another Shooting Star Dragon? Oh no, this is against Carly. This is against Fortune Lady. Um, and I don't even think I gave my opponent a chance to even really retaliate. This is the one where I think the attack got negated because of Fortune's future. So my opponent did. So I went off first. Summoned the Oracle. I popped my field spell. I played Hysteric Sign. It's actually supposed to be Perfumer being summoned, and then I was gonna have a whole bunch of Harpies on the field. But instead, I kind of just played out the slow way and then force my opponent to try to retaliate because I could have went for a game and I just screwed up on my end. So they played a Fortune's Vision. They summoned Fortune Lady Pass. I chained to bounce back the I chained to get rid of pass, but that didn't work unfortunately. So instead, I just went ahead and just started popping stuff, bouncing stuff back and forth on the field. And then I know the first attack got negated, which is fine because I just went in for all the other attacks to get the damage done. And then I can show off one or two more because I don't mind. I want to show off. We show off this one against Poseidon, which I think was this fish. No, I think this was Blue Eyes. Because there is so many Blue Eyes running around. It's not Blue Eyes, it's Stardust. It's a rare occasion if I ever run into a Harpie mirror match. I'm just letting you guys know that now. Yeah, it's a legit. Um, I'm sorry, screen froze. It's a rare occasion if I ever run into Blue Eyes. Um, in terms of battling stuff. So, yeah, it is a lot of back and forth with this. Pop my own field spell, played Perfumer Search, went for the Feather Ash, then went for who did I summon? I summoned Cyber Slash Harpie Lady, uh, set the head judging, and then retrieve from the grave, and then I think that I draw the treacherous. I did draw the treacherous. So yeah, this game more resourceful than I did. So then I summoned Oracle. So what Oracle is going to serve her purpose here, getting back the hunting ground, and then she's basically setting herself up to be part of the fodder for treacherous. So at this point, I don't think I activated treacherous. I waited for the blue eyes to be summoned, not knowing that I was going to run into the alternative version. So what I did was I played treacherous just to bait it out. And I believe this is the version where I ran into it. If not, I basically just went summon, activate. Here comes the birthright. I didn't really trip off the birthright because I could have bounced back the blue eyes, but instead I didn't. I was like, all right, summon the blue eyes. I'm gonna summon Channeler. I'm gonna pop the birthright. And then I think at that point, yeah, I even went to activate Channeler's effect because I did not care about the head judging. Um, and or no, I wanted the head judging because I was afraid of running into Spirit Kuriboh. So yeah, I just basically went into another Cyber Slash. I think honestly, I just went overkill with this. I summoned Harpie Lady. I basically had the game already. I just wanted to see how far I could go with the attack points. It's just making sure that I had something ready in case I run into Spirit Kuriboh because I do not like running into random hand traps. And like even though this game doesn't have a surplus of it, it is still kind of nasty to run into. All right, I'll go into one more tool, and I think this is the Harpie mirror match that I had. Um, it was a very strange mirror match. I am not even going to lie. It was very unexpected. I don't think neither of us expected us to run into Harpies at that point. So I went first, and uh, I had hunting ground. He had hunting. That the opponent had hunting ground. And then basically it just went like this. So I set the sign, I summoned the perfumer. Um, I used perfumer's effect to search for rest. I activated ego, I summoned Harpie Lady, I popped my opponent's field spell. In conjunction, I summoned Harpist. I summoned Cyber Slash, I searched off a sign, and basically just wait to see what my opponent would do. So they summon Channeler, activate, summon Dragon. They set two back row and end your turn. So I went for the summon. I triggered Hysteric Party. I bounced back Harpie's Pet, and then I popped the Hunting Ground. So the Hunting Ground ended up getting popped, which is fine. I summoned the Perfumer to search for the other ego. I went for another Harpist. I went for another Cyber Slash. I basically just at this point just said, all right, with all else fails, just play everything. In this version, actually, I want to start for me. In this version, I am playing Power of the Guardians. This is a spell card that you can equip to any monster, and when it attacks, you can add a spell counter to that monster. That monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell counter, and if the equipped monster would be short about a card effect, you can remove a spell counter from the card instead. This is a great little add-on to Harpies. This was very old school build that I played, because I don't even think I'm running this. I'm not running this currently in my current build. So yeah, I go get sisters, and then I just basically swing for game. And it really wasn't much my opponent did. I wonder what the face down card was, but replays don't show you what the face down cards are. Funny enough. So, yeah, that is pretty much it that I wanted to show you guys for Duel Links. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. Hit the notification bell so you guys can be informed when I do upload more content. And you can also hit me up on social media. The links are in the description box below, as well as Patreon if you guys want to help support the channel more and give a little if you choose to. So, with that said and done, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time. HTJ signing out. Take care.